Hi everyone. Today is November the 15th. It is a Friday, and this is the Moneyball Morning Report for the Benzinga Pro platform. We are going to start with SPY. Here's what's ahead on the docket. Pre-market, we've got retail sales, Empire State Manufacturing, import-export prices, and then industrial production comes at 9:15. Other than that, we've got some Fed speakers auditioning for their next roles, of course. That's such an incestuous thing. Sorry. Moving on. Let's start with SPY. Actually, I'm really happy with this progression because if you go back to Monday's session, you'll see that I talked about the big fat round number near 600 that got rejected and the estimation of what I expected price to do. And lo and behold, faded to the first edge, bounced, made a lower high, and here it is at a very key bounce point. What is my supposition? My supposition is that the traders really try to come in and buy this area, 591 to 590, wait for pre-market action, watch the first 15 minutes of price formations, and then here's something that is very, very good to do. Whenever you're staring down your candlesticks and you're thinking about, whoa, which way is this going to go? Look at the size of the wicks above if price action's moving down. If the size of the wicks of the above are non-existent or very small, that means there's no pressure up there. And so price action continues down. Look at this wick right here. Well, it's non-existent, actually. And it collapses and comes down. Very, very small wicks. Now, take a look here. Look where the wicks are here. You see any? None. That means buyers are trying to pick up these lower highs. Pay attention to the nuance of price action so you can see the picture that the candles are telling you. All right? So my thought is, at this juncture, pullbacks or buy zones, key area of motion. It's drifted well lower into the overnight. And so this pre-market action's got very thin volume. People are very short overnight. They're going to buy to cover. And so the strength of the buyers are going to be tested probably around this 594 area, but it might actually be 593.80, 593.50, something like that. Okay? So that's what I'm seeing, a turning point. If per happenstance we lose the value area low at 589, there's going to be more action to the south. Major liquidity areas well down here. Low volume node. That means people are sitting here setting up to buy. Okay? And they're going to try and buy that falling knife. This is the range that we're watching, this rectangle here. And so the rectangle base is all the way down at 582 at the top at about 590. All right, let's look at the cues. You know, we're so used to not being truly observant that becoming observant opens up an entire world for you. So let's take a look at the cues. Collapsed, everybody short overnight. These guys, not quite as sharp in terms of the buying pressure, but still buyers coming in, making higher lows. Dips are going to be buys, as long as it doesn't lose 503.70. If it loses that, there's more downside action. We could have a sharp liquidity break. It's all about how we respond to news. Okay? And so that's really going to be key. My thought is they're going to try and form a base here. Fridays are normally bullish, but, you know, what's normal? Anything can happen. So just pay attention to these ledges. Pre-market low is going to matter, as well as bouncing into key resistance zones. And that heavy congestion really could be anywhere all the way up at 508, right? We could see 508 easily, right? So filling the gap is going to be something that folks want to do. Let's take a look at the ES. Again, really beautiful price action formation. Oh, I thought I drew this. Okay, let's clone this rectangle, bring it down here, and we can see that we've traversed about half of it. Same sort of thing going, though. See, no wicks on the bottom, no shadow. And that means they're coming right in. As they open up their candlestick, they're off to the races. Now, we're here dancing at the VWAP. It's going to make a difference. Yesterday, I said, hey, listen, I think the next thing we test is 59.54. And so there it is. It stayed there for 5 hours before collapsing and headed lower. And now we are above the London opening hour high. And so this still tells me pullbacks for buy zones. Pullbacks into what, Anne-Marie? Anywhere from 59.27 to 59.35. We're about 10 points higher than that. Listen, if we lose the low of the pre-market, we're going to have sellers probably jam right in, because everybody that went long here has got their stops, and their stops are probably going to be tight, and that's what we have to look at. We have to look at, hey, what are those stops doing? Is it going to run people out of the room? And that might be a yes, at which point we'll drop down into this 59.15 and a lot of liquidity at the round number of 59.02. They're just waiting to get filled, right? That's what these lines are. They're standing orders waiting to get filled. Okay, next. I'm spending too much time. Sorry, I'll go faster. Here we are with the NQ. Same sort of form. Oh, I should have locked that. Same sort of formation. Buyers buying the dip. Floor somewhere around 20,797. Into the VWAP. Old support. Is it going to be new resistance at 885? I don't know. But what I do know is we're walking down these boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're holding at the bottom of the box. So getting to the top of the box at 20,960, not unreasonable, right? Not unreasonable at all, to me. And that's what we'll be looking for. Buy the dip as long as the pre-market low does not get lost. Now, you might be going, Marie, I hear you, but you're always telling us to trade in the direction of trend. Yes, that is correct. So what that means is if you're buying the dip, you better be taking profit at the resistance zones, or your price action is going to collapse and you'll be in the wrong direction. So are we trying to get a preemptive bounce? Yes. Could we have said that right here? Absolutely. Holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But look at what happens. It bounces into the VWAP and never makes it over there. So as we're trading and we come into that area, just go, you know what? I'm dropping to half size. I'm against trend. And so I know my size needs to be small in the first place. And then with the second half of my order, I'm going to leave it at break even. Okay? If I'm trying to catch this floor, retest is what I take it at. And if I can't get up over the top, I'm not going to hang out. Bye-bye. This is trend. I have to follow trend. Let's go to the YM. Okay, here's what this is. This is the head and shoulders pattern here, right? That's a really great big box here. So I duplicated it down, which means that this price action could continue to 43,215 in the YM. However, there's a little bit of a preempted bounce. So what does that mean? Well, it's bouncing into resistance. If it pulls back and holds a higher low, I'm going to go long into the next area of resistance. I believe the traders are going to try and recapture value area low, which is 43,843. Okay, look what happens. Very few wicks on the bottom. That means the traders are jamming in at the open of the candlestick and they're going long. Okay, where to take profit? 43,781, heavy congestion in the middle of the Asia candlestick. That's something to watch. Most definitely. At which point, we'll be looking at that opening range and the move up into heavy congestion, right? Which is 43,915 to 44,000. What is the downside? Well, here's the thing. If you want to short this, the best place to short it is at the top of heavy congestion, 43,800 or so. And if they break through 43,850, you got to take the trade off, right? Here's the thing. Right here at 43,850, it could stop you out and then turn right around. So this is a very messy patch around there. I'd wait to let price action collapse, retest its collapse, and actually be a look above and fail, like JJ from the Microfutures Room likes to talk about, right? This is a look below and fail. We'll be looking for a look above and fail that gives us that further downside action. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Love this thing, still in a pretty big box of noise, right? I'm going to remove this one because it's actually this one now, right? What did we do? We just came right into that area, 91,200. Now we're pulling back. What does this formation tell us? Buy the dip. Definitely buy the dip. We're above the moving averages. We're above the VWAP. What does the tall wick tell us? Well, I had buyers up there, but they aren't able to hold it yet. So we still have resistance above, but it does not stop us from buying that dip. So here's the thing. How much risk should I have? 89,500 has been a great support zone in the pre-market action, especially since London has opened. Watch for the rotation. Go small size. If it dips down into 88,525, that's the sweet spot. That's where I'm looking for buying opportunities, and I'm going to give it really $500 of risk. And so my size will be small, but I am going to run it up. Now, let's say it doesn't do that, and it turns right over. You could go, well, listen, I feel like this is a short. Well, there you have it. Right there up at the 90,000, you can trade it all the way down to that 88,300, the same place I'm looking to buy. Okay? Oil, going through the gamut today. Sideways, very sideways, but this is the box that we're in. Oh, come on, Fred. This is the box that we're in, right? We came down. Just tested the inside of it. I mean, a couple of days ago, we bounced off value area low. This, we've got high and then, low and then a lower low, but still holding a higher low. My suspicion is that we are headed to try and test this area around 70. Here's the thing. If I can't get up over 68.85, this is still short. So the first pass, as we move this far away from this moving average here, the first pass up is going to be a sell zone. The pullback into 68 gives us a relative buy. All right, last thing, you look at gold. Hello, Fred. All right, here's the box that we're sitting in. Right off value area low yesterday. That was a beautiful bounce, but now in heavy congestion. What's the next run up? 25.82. I think the dollar's a little long in the tooth right now, so we should see price action breach in gold, but this is a very messy patch, folks. It is incredibly messy. Gold tends to have the same kind of messy zone width. You just saw me pull it off of that edge. And so the messy zones are usually 63, about $20 wide. So be careful there. Pullbacks into Asia low area, 25,060, 25,059. Could be a very nice bounce, but this is very sideways. So you're going to sell the top, buy the bottom until it breaks. So keep your risk tight and take profit as it comes into the heavy congestion down into the bottom of the box. Okay? Take care, everybody. Oh, wait. I did want to show you what's happening with the RTY. Golly, I've been here a long time. Also in a big bounce zone. A lot of buyers coming in after 1, 2, 3 days of solid pullbacks. They are going to buy the dip. Listen, buyers have everything at stake here. If they can't push it up, sellers are going to come in and step on some necks. All right, join me on Top Step TV. Join me on the Benzinga Options Hour at 11 a.m. Well, it's an options half hour. And then I'll be on the Reversal Challenge on Top Step TV. It's my first time. And we'll see who wins that competition. Take care, everybody. I'll see you on the streams.